guys, Andy here. I'm going to bore you a little bit with some Nexus history first of all. If we go back almost 5 years, the Nexus 1 was first released on the 5th of January. Now at that point they weren't particularly available in the UK. I had to ship mine from America. It cost me $30 to have it shipped, and the device itself cost $529. So I got mine at the very end of January. Loved the device. Just less than a year later the Nexus S was released, Samsung's the model, followed the year later by another one, the Galaxy Nexus, which was retailing in the UK. That was $429. After that came the Nexus 4, the first one that I didn't own, where Google really shook the market up a little bit, releasing the 8GB at £239, which at the time was just an amazingly low price. Then last year we had the Nexus 5, where they did similar. The 16GB was £300. I forget how much the 32GB was actually. And then this year they've gone back to kind of how they started, to be fair, with a proper full price, I say proper, a full price Nexus phone, the Nexus 6, now retailing at sort of £500 odd for the 32GB. It is interesting to see how the 4, 5 and 6, the 4 was available in 8 and 16GB, the 5 in 16 and 32, and now the 6 in the 32 and the 64. I myself just have the 32. It's 32 blue. I think 32 will be fine for me. I've got 64 on my OnePlus One. I don't use anywhere near that much space, so 32 should be fine for me, but some people who like to carry their entire music collection around with them might want 64. That kind of brings me a little bit to the release debacle that has been. Now, it may just be that it's only kind of tech heads that really notice this, but we've all been trying to find out, when's it actually getting released? What's the release date? I don't think there's been any official word on a UK release date. Even in the States, it's been kind of weird. Every Wednesday, match your F5 key and hope that you manage to snatch one of the ones that becomes available. It does seem very odd. I see a lot of people whinging. I try not to jump on these whinging bandwagons. But actually it has been quite a weird release. So even now I don't think you can get on the Play Store. They did pop up from time to time with a kind of 3 to 4 week delivery schedule, and then they would vanish again being sold out. Why not just put them on the Google Play Store? Yes, I'd like one when it's available. You build up a queue of people and you ship them out as you have them. It doesn't make a lot of sense, because then they're dripping and dropping into different retailers. So I've been to O2 to get mine. I bought it pay as you go, £480. I'm going to throw the SIM away. I don't need it. We'll see whether it's locked or not, but I've already seen there are some unlocks available for $25 or less. And then I see Vodafone have been selling, but apparently I've seen that they only maybe got sent 100, so I don't know how many pre-orders they took. They're going to disappoint a lot of people. I know retailers like Clove, I think they're saying that they're not going to have them till mid to late December. It just seems very odd. I don't know if Motorola can't keep up with demand. Is there that much demand though? Is the Nexus that much known outside of tech circles? I don't know. Anyway, I've been rambling on long enough. I want to open this sucker up and see what it looks like. So let's do that now.
Righto, so the box itself is quite nicely packaged. I like the front, nice and sort of understated, stylish. Let's go ahead and can get away with a thumbnail. Well, maybe not actually. Bring in my trusty touch knife. And it slides out nice and easy, and there it is. So I'm going to pop that aside initially. What do we have here? 6. There's some instructions of where to find the different buttons. Oh, I'm upside down. I am like NFC. 1, 2, 3. How to plug your device in. Look, to charge it, because that's often confuses me, to be fair. We've got the SIM ejection tool. Fine. Safety and warranty. Safety. Try to avoid swallowing 6-inch device. Then regular micro USB cable. Yep. And obviously, that's quite chunky really. It's a shame. I've seen these days that, well, I mean, some of them you have the slide out pop up there, but you also have ones where they fold actually really thin. It's a shame no manufacturers are yet making use of that. I suppose I should double check there's nothing underneath. Oh, bloody hell, no, that's actually fixed in, I think. No, it can't be. But there is nothing underneath, I can tell you, I can see. So let's just pop that aside. So it's nice enough, neatly. It's quite a big box, really. I'm not sure that's totally necessary. But then, obviously, it's quite a big device. Already we can see it's a bit of a kind of a dust magnet on the back there. So it's sort of soft touch-ish. That's a bit tacky. I'm going to get rid of that straight away. I do hate when I see people, they've got a phone, they keep this bleeding thing on. Oh, not until I get a screen protector. It is Gorilla Glass. It's pretty sturdy stuff. I mean, sometimes I'll pop a screen protector on. To be honest, it's more to do a video and to do a review for you guys. I generally leave them naked like this one. So it is a big old device. Obviously, 6 inches corner to corner. The screen itself is 2560 by 1440. So it is, what's that? I forgot you call it, Quad HD. 493 pixels per inch is the pixel density on that. I think I'm getting used to these massive phones. So I know everyone's kind of going, "Oh, it's huge." Is the first thing that people generally say. It's big phone, but it doesn't seem unwieldy. It doesn't seem crazy big. But then I come from a Note 4 and Note 3. I've had the Oppo N1. I've had the Z Ultra. A lot of big devices. Well, that thing's a little weird. The speakers or whatever, that protrudes slightly. Don't know if you can see that on the video. Feels a little bit odd, but that's fine. So actually, before we move on, we'll have a look at some of this. That's the Note 4 and the Nexus 6 side by side. So the Nexus is slightly wider and slightly taller, but not by a lot, to be fair. Then I've got my OnePlus One. Again, they don't look. I don't think they look a huge amount different. The Nexus, the width, I think, on the Nexus, which does. You can see it there. That's quite a bit of extra width. And then just for giggles, we're bringing the Nexus 5. There you do see the difference. Nexus on Nexus. Quite a bit of width difference. And quite a bit of height difference. The 6 easily consuming the 5. But I think we all knew that, don't we? We all knew the 6 was a huge, big device. Let's start it booting up. Presumably there's going to be a bit of charge. So power button, volume rocker, quite low down on the side compared to how some devices. But I think these bigger devices these days, they are getting lower and lower because they need to be reachable by a thumb. I'm quite a big guy. I wouldn't say I've got massive hands, but that seems pretty good to me, pretty good location to me. Nothing down that side. Now, I've often not got on well with devices where they have all the buttons on the one side. But we'll see. They are located within sort of an inch of each other. So we'll see. Basically, I used to, when you pick things up and you've got all the buttons down the one side, easier to press them by mistake. Now, again, I would imagine you're already aware. It comes with a Lollipop 5.0 by default. So what I'll do, well, I didn't really finish looking around the outside, did I? So those two, on the top, there's where the SIM card's going to go, with the headphone jack located very centrally. You see this funny little, I don't know, I know was it one of the Xperias? Someone pointed out that's actually for shock absorption, whatever, so you can drop your phone. I don't know if that's the case here. I don't know if that basically takes some of the impact, and I don't know if that's like a rubbery out. I'm not sure. Just turn the phone off for a second. So as we go around, nothing down that edge, and then on the bottom, obviously the micro USB connector. On the back itself, obviously we have the Nexus branding and the Motorola logo with a slight indentation. I think that's quite nice. I know a lot of people are worried about the blue being a bit of a fingerprint magnet or a dust magnet. We'll see how it goes. That looks like it's a noise cancelling mic at the back there. The snapper, is it 13 megapixel? Yep. So kind of 4000 by 3000 roughly. with the optical image stabilization, so the lens itself can move just very slightly to take out sort of vibrations and such. It's got a dual LED ring flash, so the whole bit around the outside is the flash, but obviously the LEDs I think are there and there. But well, we'll see how that performs. So let's take a look at this 493 pixels per inch screen. Some people have commented that they think the screen's one of the weaker points. Other people have said it's an amazing, fantastic screen. First glance, I would say that looks pretty damn good. Try the viewing angles. Obviously, I don't know what brightness setting. It's probably on auto brightness, but that seems pretty good to me. One of the other comments has been about the speed of the device, because it comes encrypted by default now, Lollipop. And that actually, because obviously encryption, when you're writing to and reading from, it has to be encrypted and unencrypted, I guess, is going to slow things down. So a lot of people have got really upset by the lower benchmarking scores because it's encrypted. But isn't really the most... I mean, you guys tell me enough. You know, who cares about benchmarks? It's about real-world use. So that'll be the interesting thing over the next week. So most people I've sort of heard about said that it is slick as anything. I've only watched a couple of videos because I try not to watch too much about them. I don't want to be influenced. I want to be able to give my own true opinion. But the bits that I've seen, it looks very slick. So I'll go ahead and log into things, and then I'll come back to you. Now, I'll just pause briefly in the middle of the setup because I've realised I've got an opportunity to test this tap and go. Quickly copy any Google accounts, backed up apps and data from your existing Android devices. So basically what I do, in theory, as it says, is hold... oops, what did I press there? Volume, that's okay. Copy accounts and data, yeah. I think it said Bluetooth will be used. So, to continue... Oh, yeah, no, it's doing it. Sign in. Will do. New device setup complete. Look, a new Nexus 6 was set up on Tuesday. The blah, 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 blah. Oh my goodness. That's all of my Google security stuff. What else? Right. So we think. Yes, I'm in. Thank you for Google now. Oh wow, the desktop and everything. Oh wow. Interesting. I wasn't quite expecting that, to be honest. But I guess kind of why not? So I presume now it's going to be installing all of my apps, but hopefully in the correct way, as in just all of the apps that seems very quick and fast to me. Why on earth are people worried about sort of encryption and such? So I guess we can carry on while it's going through, so updating YouTube and installing bits and pieces. So let's have a look at the camera. Remember photo, yeah, that's fine. Choose photo size. I guess we'll go full. Shall we? Or shall we go cropped? We'll go full. It always looks a bit weird if you've got this big black, but that's actually making the most of the sensor. When it spreads to the edge, actually all you're doing really is cutting off the top and the bottom of the image so that it fits in your screen better. So let's see how quickly well, that was near instant, but then it might be because how fast does it actually focus on things? So that took it a little bit longer because it had to focus, but that's still pretty prompt. And then we slide sideways, if you haven't seen, and we can get rid of. Yeah. So that seems quite fast. I've heard that the camera is one of the best that a Nexus device has ever had. They quite often haven't been the strong points of Nexus devices, but Google apparently have really gone for it in this version. Let's also have a look and a listen to the screen and speaker. What was that bling blonging? Sound out. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Well, that's probably my emails. It's interesting. Lollipop. It has gone. Android has gone very fancy now. I don't know whether I assume there's some out there that sort of think it was too fancy. It's too pretty. I liked Android because it was hardcore. Find music faster. Oh, why not? Go on. Let's find music faster, shall we? Great bit of. That sounds good. Obviously, that's just the advert. I do apologise, bad language. So the speakers, I'm getting the stereo at the front there, look. How do I get my buttons back? There we go. Get rid of that for a second. So it sounds pretty good. Let's check. So it certainly seems a pretty good speaker. I think I put more weight in having a good speaker than probably most people do, because I do like to listen to my podcasts. We're not signing there, so we won't worry about it. I was gonna get an actual like a bit of podcast to play, basically. Obviously, Google Now. It is. I mean, that's quick, and let's just very quickly just double check exactly what version it says we're running. I'll tell you one thing, actually. The back of the phone is heating up at this point. I mean, it will be working very hard doing all this installation, and I've obviously had the screen on for quite a long time. So Android version 5.0. I believe there's a 5.0.1 kind of on the verge. If not, it's already been pushed out to different places. But just to check, I mean, it says I'm up to date right now. Yes, if that's important to you, there's the information for me as of the 9th of December. Yeah, that is pretty warm. So, mind you, I've got the screen cranked right the way up as well, haven't I? Why have I not got an option just to click it straight into auto? Or we on? So we are on adaptive brightness, it calls it, which is fine. So let's just see. We've got the lock screen. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, we can change. If you want to know about Lollipop specifically, I have got a video somewhere. Just do a search. So that's interesting. Again, that's got a kind of a rough edge, serrated, perhaps you could call it. You hear it? Not on the volume, but on the power. I generally don't use lock screens, but actually the Lollipop one's relatively useful. So I might. It is so smooth and slick. I should really put an actual sort of Lollipop type wallpaper on it, really, shouldn't I? So there we go, set wallpaper. I'm assuming it's not locked into my Nexus 5, and that's not going to change. No, it doesn't look like it. That stays with the same wallpaper. So I think the setup process definitely been improved. Let's just double check. Oh, there was a little bit of lag there. Did you notice? Just a little bit. That's the first bit we've seen. At a brief look, I believe that's only the apps that I've been using recently. So it's not, it's not slap. Oh, I'm not sure I had that installed. Or maybe I did on the Nexus 5. So the setup process much better, much quicker, much easier. The device seems very slick. To me, it doesn't feel massive. Okay, it's going to be hard with one hand. You get used to that though, and you do adapt to how, if you wanted to get into that corner, you can. Likewise down here. So you get used to just holding it a little bit differently. If you grip your phone, yeah, you're going to struggle, or you're going to need a second hand. But yeah, I'm impressed thus far. I like the look of it. I like the build quality. There's no cracking, creaking. The buttons seem pretty solid. like I say, it's getting a bit warm right now, but then I've had the screen on, you know, pretty permanently with all this stuff being installed. So yeah, it's not, you know, it's not too surprising. But it feels a good device. It doesn't feel too heavy. It's a reasonable weight. I mean, it's 184 grams, which is, you know, that is a reasonable weight. But it doesn't feel like a brick. I don't think I would use it down the gym in my shorts. I might end up with my shorts around my ankles. You know, it is a bit of a weight, but I think very nice device. So there we go. Obviously, I'll be cranking out a lot of videos. I'll be putting it up against things like the Note 4, the OnePlus One, the Nexus 5 in my head-to-heads. I'll try and get some video comparisons out there. And obviously, the review will come in a week or two, maybe a little bit longer because Christmas and all this, things are getting quite busy for me, but we'll see how we get on. There you go. My name's Andy. I'll catch you all again soon.